Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of misty morning and focus combination, because you know, I love the bergamot, the little zing of the peppermint. So good. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, or something harder. Maybe some Kraken, spiced rum. So good. So good, guys. I hope you're enjoying your Monday morning. Today we're going to be looking at my setup. I've changed things and I want to go through it with you. Whenever I make changes, I like to tell you about it, hopefully give you some ideas what you can change with your setup, or just see how things get done. Let's say behind the scenes, right? A lot of people like these type of videos, so I put them out there whenever things change, and they have. But before I get into it, I want to say that if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, subscribe and click this little bell icon over here, so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. Also, if you get anything out of this video, even a little bit, throw it a thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. Thumbs ups, they help a lot. Also, comment below this video. That's helpful too. This whole channel is built around community, not me just sitting here just talking in front of the camera. It's down here in the comment area. That's where all the good stuff happens after the video is over. Anyway, so we're going to get right into this setup. Things have changed. Now, the main thought behind this change was speed and my sanity. All right, speed and be able to get things to happen quickly, put all of this stuff like on one button. When you do this for a long period of time, I've been doing this for many years, you have to change things up all the time, right? Make things quicker, make things better, just change things to just get out of your head a little bit. You get bored. I get bored, you know? I think creatives are like that. If you're a creative, you know what I'm talking about. Start doing the same thing over and over and you just fall into this rut. We don't want to do that. So, you see in the back, everything darkened up a little bit. Those acoustic squares that were back there, they are gone. Now, what we've done is we changed the paint on the background. Now, I did not change the paint on the sides. This background paint is gray. It's called Imperial Gray. I don't know why. It's nice. I kind of like the color. It's kind of a little bit slatey, but not quite. Not too dark, not too light, and I can change the color of this background really easily. And I'll show you that before the end of this video. Now the side walls I left white, and the reason being is I can just put any type of color on there that I want, number one. But number two, I get a little bit more bounce, some fill coming in from the side. So when I have any of these lights on over here, it bounces a little bit, fills in the sides, and it's a little bit better than making it solid dark, and then we just go into this dark hole that we don't want. Then we have to add so much light. So that's what we're doing here as far as the color. This color that we did here was not an easy task. That massive cabinet that we see behind me, that's like about 12 foot long, that thing is heavy. And I had to have my son come out here. We did it actually at night. And I brought him into the studio and we pulled this thing forward and I had him roll the wall while I cut the edges and whatnot. Not great job, but okay, an okay job, but we got it done. These walls are not standard 8-foot walls. This studio is about 12 feet tall. So it's a big wall back there. It's a big wall. So that's where we started things out. And what I did is I took everything off this cabinetry back here, just got rid of everything, and I kind of just slowly put things back how I wanted them. Minimize things just a little bit, and then get it ready for as season comes around, because I like to change these backgrounds seasonally. And now we have Samhain coming, or All Hallows Eve, or some people call it Halloween, whatever you want to call it. And of course, I'll be decorating behind me for that, because it's fun. Right? Like I said, I get bored, and I get bored quick. So the decoration seasonally helps me, once again, with my sanity. So let's get into this set design here so that if you've been on the channel for the last year, you'll see that things have changed. But if you've never been here before and you just want to know what we have going on, I'll tell you. So to start out with, you can see right behind me, there's like a blue strip. Right behind this long 12-foot cabinetry or drawers or whatever you want to call it, there is a strip, and that could be changed to any color light that I want. Right now it's set to blue. You can set it to anything. That just kind of pops that back cabinet off the wall just slightly. and it gives me the ability to change the color as I want. Next, you can see over my right shoulder over here, there's a little play button. That play button was made for me by my son. He does this for fun all the time. Like every couple of months, he'll make me a new play button. He first started out doing this when I hit 10,000 subscribers. He made it out of Legos. This one is painted and whatnot, so he does it every once in a while for me, and I appreciate it greatly. Next comes this 27-inch iMac that you see back here. I love this thing. All the computers in the studio are PCs now, but we still have some remnants of the past where we used to have a ton of these 27-inch iMacs all over the place. We got rid of all of them. This is the last one standing, and I use it basically just for content behind me. You can see right next to that is this little neon Saturn light. I picked that up on Amazon. I absolutely love it. That was in the last set, but I just think it's cool. I like the little bit of light. Now, over this shoulder, something different has changed. We have back here, it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to have to most likely put like some spotlights on things, but that right there is a 1936 Zeiss Icon bellows camera. 1936. It has a 10.5 centimeter lens. People are like, what the hell is a centimeter lens? Well, convert it. It's 105 millimeters. It's an f/4.5. That's just how they labeled them back then, which is very, very interesting. And it still works. It still works. The bellows is intact. I've shot some black and white with it not too long ago. So that's always fun to have. Now, right next to it, we can see this plant. Now, I always like to have a little bit of an organic plant. You can kind of barely see it. Once again, I need to get some spotlights back there. But that plant is very interesting. It is pure black, all right? The new shoots that come out of that plant are like fluorescent green, and you can see a couple of them here. And then over a short period of time, it turns black and shiny. Not dead black, but literally black, shiny leaves and stem and everything. The pigment actually changes to black. I think it's just the coolest thing. Next to that, you can see a hand-carved and hand-engraved Viking drinking horn. It goes back to some of my heritage, my ancestors from overseas. I just absolutely love that horn. Now, right next to that, we can see a Kraken bottle. Now, you know I talk about the Kraken all the time. It is my favorite spice rum. It's for the pirate in me, I think. I've just always liked it, and that's probably one of the reasons why it's an empty bottle. Next comes my book. Once again, How to Create a Digital Fort Knox, Backing Up Your Digital Life. I put that together for all of you out there. I took you on my journey for not only securing all the countless terabytes and terabytes of data that I produce as a content creator, as a photographer, videographer, everything that I do. We're talking just a ton of data, but it's also a means of showing you that you can do it affordably and with old parts. So I took 10-year-old parts that were in a garage, and I built this NAS, put Unraid on it, and that's what that book is all about. It handholds you on doing the exact same thing. Very, very cool. If you haven't seen that book before, you can find it on Amazon. You can get the Kindle also on Amazon. You can also buy a signed copy over on my website, JCristina.com. Go check that out. I also have the prologue to that. If you go to JCristina.com/books, once again, JCristina.com/books, you can get the prologue to that free of charge. Also, 10 tips in making tack sharp images, another ebook that I wrote a few years back. Go grab them. They're free. Can't beat free, right? So right next to that, we can see a raven. Now, some people view the raven as a bad omen or death or something like that. For me, it's more like prophecy or insight or a means of seeing the unseen or what other people don't see. That's the way I look at the raven. Also, it is a symbolic representation of one of my favorite poems ever by Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven. I absolutely love that poem. I did a reading on that poem. Matter of fact, here's a clip to that reading.
The Raven. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volumes of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surceased of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore.
So once again, I absolutely love that poem. And if you want to hear the entire oration, I did this during this period of time last year during the holidays. I like to do readings. It could be a spooky story, some type of short poem, whatever it is, usually seasonal. I'll do that and I'll stick it into its own playlist. So check that out. If you have any ideas for readings or short stories that you want me to orate, definitely put them in the comment area below this video. And finally, back here, you can see that Himalayan salt lamp that I think is just fantastic. I love the light that it casts. And right out of frame next to it, you can't see it, is a oil diffuser. I love the diffuser. Normally I'm running candles in here, but sometimes you don't want that extra smoke, but you still get that same relaxed vibe with that oil diffuser. So I love that. So once again, the idea here was to be able to turn all of this behind me on and off with just one button. And that is what I did. So back here, there is a little button, as you can see here. If I push it, everything goes off. And if I push it again, you'll see everything slowly come back on. That just makes things easy for me to be able to record, and I don't have to worry about wandering around and turning things on and off. Once again, I don't have the iMac set up on that one button. Obviously, we don't want it to shut off just like that and turn back on like we don't want that, right? So usually I just put it to sleep. I hit the space bar and boom, we're up. I'll throw in some type of content, whatever that I want to show you guys. Behind me right now is just a picture of something that I liked, and that is it. So it makes things easy. Now, as far as the setup in front of me that you guys don't see, I'm still recording here on the Sony ZV-1. I absolutely love it. It tracks my eyes absolutely perfect. I don't have to worry about anything. It just simply works. It's one of those things that just works, right? And on this side over here, we have the Canon EOS 80D. It produces basically the side shot. So let's say if I have an edit, I can switch between cameras, number one. Also, if I want to show you something that's going on here, this little dirty shot, let's call it, from the side, you can see my mic that you normally don't see, right? It gives you a little bit more of a behind the scenes that's going on. Now, the LED light kit that I'm using right here in front of me are two 12-inch light panels. And they are bicolor, and I dial them in so then later on in post-production, I don't have as much color grading after the fact. I get them exactly the way I want them, so in post I have less work. And that's what we're doing here. These things have not changed either. Now right above me, just out of frame, is my Electro Voice RE20. Now you can see it through this camera right about here, but you can't see it on the main. That is basically being used as, let's call it a boom mic or a shotgun mic, even though it's not. It really should be in close to my mouth, but for now, it's about a foot away. So it's not perfect. The audio from this mic could be a hell of a lot better, but for now, it is good enough. I really don't want the mic in the shot. For a long period of time, I used to have it on the desk with me, which was okay, but I just like it better like this, where it's just out of the way. I'm very animated, I guess. My hands are always moving. I speak with my hands, and having this thing in the way was just, I was bumping it all the time. Having it up here on an arm, it just simply works for me. Now, the audio from the RE20 goes through an XLR cable into a compressor. That is a DBX 286, I think it is, S compressor. From there, it goes into an H4n. That is by Zoom to capture that audio, and then it splits off and goes into the computer. So I have two means of capturing the audio: in the computer through like OBS or whatnot, or through my H4n, where I'm going to get the absolute best audio that I possibly can. So that is kind of the audio setup. There's other audio pickups here. I have multiple mics, but usually I'll use those for either conversations over Skype or whatnot, so I don't have to have the big mic running. And sometimes people get a little bit put off because you sound so much louder and better than everyone else in the meeting. So I'll just use like a USB mic, or I'll use this Rode shotgun mic or something like that, where it's still good, but it's not that radio quality microphone. I know, it's just weird, but sometimes people get weird. Anyways, moving on to the lights. These are brand new now. I have two lights right above me. I could have them just send white light to the back wall or any color using a little remote. So we can change things just by clicking on them. Now, if I just want them white, let me just turn these on real quick. So this would be white. And obviously you get that blue tint to it. Why? Because the white on RGB is not really that great white. But what's cool about it is I can go and change it to whatever. So if I wanted to change them to red, I can go like that. And now we have like a red background. I can go and do a green. And as you can see, there's two of them. So let's say if I want blue on this side and then maybe I want red on this side, I could do that and split things up however I want it, which makes things a lot easier later on when I go and change the scenes. Maybe I want a different color background. Like you can see this nice fade from that blue to the red. I could also change the intensity of the light, how bright it is, how dark it is, whatever. So this works out really good. And this is something new that I installed, and I think it's going to be helpful because once again, I'm just clicking a button, guys. Clicking a button. The same thing with the back behind me. It's one button. It's not a lot to set up. So literally to go live, let's say if I'm streaming or if I'm recording a video like I'm doing now, it only takes a few minutes for me to be able to sit down here and talk to you guys. Obviously, I'll put together some notes. Usually I do bullet points the night before if there's something that I want to talk to you guys about. There was a lot of things I wanted to talk to you about today, but I had to cover this new setup because a lot of people would see it and they'll be like, hey Joe, what did you do? Why'd you do this or why'd you do that? So if you have any questions about my setup, or if you have maybe a setup that you currently have that you maybe want to change, just ask me. I'm a DP, I'm a director of photography. I do a lot of projects where I'm picking out light, picking out lenses, picking out cameras, setting everything up, getting everything staged right and whatnot. That's just what I do. So this is kind of like a side hustle that I do, the YouTube channel, and it's a means for me to communicate with you guys. Anyways, if you have any questions, once again, put them down below. Also, I want to know, do you guys have a YouTube channel? If you do, I want to see your setup. I want to see how you work, what you have going on. And in the comment area, put a link maybe to photos or just describe what you have or how you have it set up. I'm always interested in other people's setups, okay? Because I think they're fascinating. Everyone has a different means of doing something, and sometimes we all get to the exact same end, but we have a different path, even though we get to the same final result. So I want to see yours. And once again, if you like this content, as always, give it a thumbs up. That is very, very helpful. Click on this button over here once you subscribe, so when I go live and when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it. Also, if you want to contribute to the channel, you can use this little link right here, or you can click down here where it says join. You become a member. I give you perks for doing so. We're all happy. Or something like that. Also, YouTube has given us this little button down here that says thanks. And there's a little $sign. If you click on that, any monies that you provide the creator like myself goes specifically to us in the majority or the lion's share, supposedly. That's what they say. I haven't seen that yet, but maybe that is the case. Finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That's it. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.